In response to my last video blog where I was talking about money, and I was talking about how employers, we shouldn't bite the hand that feeds us, which is usually our employers, but at the same time I was also a little disheartened by the feeling that they often, they meaning the employers often abuse us, the employees as well. And so I had a friend who recommended an interesting book, and I checked it out, got like 20 pages into it. It's called Winning Through Intimidation, and it's gone through a name change, I believe. I was reading the more current edition, and I was really struck by it because I felt like there was a lot that I was reading that really echoed a lot of the thoughts that are going on in my mind, and that is, namely, that we have been hearing for as long as I can remember that if you just wake up in the morning and you stand in front of the mirror and you say, "I love you, you're wonderful, you can succeed at anything," that mind over matter will lead to successes in life. And I always had trouble doing that. And in fact, I don't recall ever doing that. I always thought it was a ridiculous suggestion. And although I'd like to think that that helps a little bit, I think positive thinking is good. It's just plays a very small role in your success, but it's not really what I want to get into. But it is an interesting book, and so far so good. I think I could recommend it, based on the little that I have read. But one thing that I did read early on was something like, I was thinking, I've thought about this before, and I've had a lot to say about it. And I thought to myself, I really need to tell them. I really need to talk to them about this. And that is the meaning of life. A lot of the things I often say is, well, for one thing, the one thing that we all as humans have in common right now is that we're all walking the earth at this day and time. There's been so many that have come before us that we never had the privilege to meet, and many that will come after us. And, I've gone through some difficult times coming to terms with my mortality. I think it happens to a lot of us. And my belief is really, to some people, morbid. And this way of thinking takes me back a little bit to the very first video log that I recorded when I was talking about people being ostriches and having their heads in the sand, just trying to believe happy thoughts. And I think that's how a lot of people come to terms with their mortality. And unfortunately, I don't have that because I tend to live in reality. What I can touch and feel is what I believe. And so I've always thought that really there is no life after death. That when we die, we turn to dust, that we get eaten by worms unless the flames of the incinerator gets to us before. But, a lot of people feel they're just going to float up on angel wings to heaven, and I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. I do believe in God. I believe that life is much too complicated to just happen by a big bang. I believe that everything has a creator, but I also think that we have to be grateful to the creator that's given us 75, 80 years of life, if we're lucky, to live. And it's selfish of us to ask for more. I believe that we should live life to the fullest and do our very best while we're here. So we need to wake up in the morning and start off day living it to the fullest, because tomorrow may never come. It's an unpleasant reality of life, and we just need to be aware of that in everything we do. don't let years go by doing absolutely nothing. I mean, this is the only chance we have at life. We're lucky to be here. I think, most of us are very happy to be alive. We do have our periods where we're deeply depressed. The usual things, grieving for a loved one, job losses, dissension between our interpersonal relationships. But there is more worth living for than dying for. And I think that's why most of us want to live on forever. We don't want to think about having to die, and, I see nothing wrong with putting it out of your mind because there's nothing that we can do about it. But to make up scenarios where your life goes on, I think is just, you're fooling yourself. I have family that believes in a new paradise on earth, and that, all the bad people are going to be destroyed and the good people are going to live on forever. And I've seen those people grow old, thinking that they would never grow old and that life as we know it would not go on during their lifetime, and they would get to see this new world order come about. And there is just no evidence of that. There's just no reason to believe something like that. But I do respect these people's way of thinking, because I realize it gets them through the day. But to put your life on hold, thinking that life is too difficult now and we just need to plan for a future life, I think you're really cheating yourself out of what our current life does have to offer. And that's all I have to say on the subject. I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to speaking to you again really soon.